Hello, investors. It's Don Vandenbord, Chief Investment Officer with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, March 13th, 5:02 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you from St. Augustine Beach, Florida, with tonight's Revere Market Insight video. State of the market in an uptrend back since November 1st and 2nd with O'Neill follow-through days. You can see the trend gauge over here in the upper right. We've got the coveted 4 green arrows, which means we've got ample market leadership. And all 5 of the major indexes that we track in these videos are trending above their short-term 21-day moving average, medium-term 50-day moving average, and long-term 200-day moving average. So what happened today? We'll step back to yesterday, and it was very clear big tech was the leader and everything else took a back seat. Complete 180 from yesterday, rotation out of tech into basic materials, financials, and commodities like oil and copper. That's not something that comes out of my mouth often, but when we look at the charts, you'll see why. Here are the numbers on the day. The big 7 down, an average of 0.26%. RG8, this is our 8 growth ETF composite, up 0.16%. S&P 500 down 0.19, equal weight, positive by 0.05. NASDAQ 100, the laggard, down 0.77%. Equal weight down a bit worse, down 0.82. Dow slightly positive by 0.1%. Mid caps up 0.33%. Same with the Russell 2000 small caps. Global 60/40 down 0.11%. In-house GROTECTION atop the leaderboard, up 0.36% on the day. Let's get to the charts. And we'll start with the S&P 500 here. You can see after the big move up yesterday, just what bulls really want, a healthy consolidation candle staying near the top of the range. Let's go to a 15-minute chart here, and you can see how tight things were. One attempted shake right at 3:30. We went 6 hours in a 17-point range, and then an attempted shakeout at 3:30, but it was bought up. And all in all, right now, the next level above is 51.89, which was that failed breakout from last Friday. Since then, we've had a gap down Monday, a gap up Tuesday, and a tight range day on Wednesday. Let's see what Thursday will bring. And we've got PPI, Producer Price Index, inflation report before the open, along with retail sales Thursday morning. NASDAQ 100, tight inside day, sitting right on the 8-day moving average. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Dow Jones Industrial Average, slightly higher high, up 0.1% on the day. Mid cap, MDY, up 0.39%. IWM, small caps, after 3 days of a pullback, getting back near the pivot of this flat base, up 0.4%. Let's take a look at the VIX. Tight range for the VIX, down slightly on the day. Dollar, also in a pretty tight range on the day, down 0.14%. Dollar pulling back. Gold and gold and silver stocks and silver had a good day today. Here's gold up 0.7% after yesterday's sell-off. Nice response there. Same thing with GDX. In fact, not just a response, but a higher close. So it looks like gold stock starting to outperform the metal and quickly improve its chart. Up 2.4% on the day. Silver up 3.2% on the day, taking the leader among the metals. Bitcoin, higher high close, up 2.6% on the day. Bonds. Bond prices pretty much down across the board, not by much, meaning yield slightly higher. Broad bond index down 0.17%. Long bond TLT down 0.5%. Means you're going to see a tick up in the long rate, and you did, back above the 50, the 200, and the 21-day moving average, up 0.86% on the day. Is something we need to keep an eye on. And the 10-year TNX up 0.9%, very similar to the same kind of the same setup as the TYX. All right, let's hit the tail of the tape. You can pause this. I'll hit the highlights. As I mentioned, copper. So reports of reduced China production out of the copper smelters hit the wires, and copper surged on that. pretty much across the board. There'll be several tickers we'll take a look at in a minute. And as I mentioned, PPI Thursday morning, need to keep an eye on. So the day count up one with a one-day consolidation, 6th straight day above the 8-day exponential moving average. I overtyped something incorrectly there. That 45 days above. Come on now, 45 days above the 21-day moving average and 88 out of the last 89. Pretty amazing. So sectors, copper stocks, as I mentioned, oils, biotech and financials, basic materials and utilities to the upside, semiconductors, XLK, that's tech, XLV, healthcare, and real estate to the downside, along with uranium. So not all commodities rocked today. Portfolios, we added Uber. It was strong early, popped its head above the 8-day exponential moving average. We bought Bank U. This is an ETF comprised of 10% of 10 big banks, and all of their charts are setting up very nicely. And laggard, we parted ways with Dell as our stop was hit. Slight tick up in exposure from 1.42 to 1.49. That's our RVAB calculation, Revere Volatility Adjusted Beta. Bottom line on the day, more rotation as tech passes the baton to oils and copper. Let's take a look at some of those oil and copper charts as they led our portfolio very nicely today. We'll start with NRGU. This is the triple leveraged oil ETF that we'd like to use when oils are cooperating, and it did cooperate today, up 7.25%. We don't take big positions in these because they are triple levered. Basically, we're trying to get the best bang for our capital by identifying ETFs in an uptrend and getting a leveraged return out of them. So there's NRGU. We also own Weatherford, an oil stock, and that was up to new highs since we bought it today. Also, a lot of oil stocks stood out today. Here's Valero, one of the big 10 that's in that NRGU. That's a 10 big oil ETF, up 5.24%. Let's flip to Nugget, 2 times gold, new highs. We got into this yesterday, rewarded, nice to be rewarded immediately. And then copper, COPX. This is copper miners, up 6%. CPER is an ETF that tracks the price of copper, up 3.06%. We bought FCX on Monday, up 7.6% today. Very nice breakout out of this double bottom base. And another copper stock, SCCO, with a great SCCO. Southern Copper up 10% on 269% average volume. So good day for the copper stocks. Let's hit the rest of the portfolio and talk about what did well. Ralph Lauren, we've been holding on to this. It's been lagging 3 up days off the 21-day moving average now. Just slightly negative on that now. Nutanix, we're looking to add to this when we get the right spot, up 1.46% on the day. Palantir up 1.2% after 3 down days. And Bank U, this is the bank ETF that we bought. You can see how tight the closes have been for the last 7 or 8 sessions here, right at the top of that flat base. And on the downside today, I said we added to Uber. It ended up slightly negative as it got above the 8-day and then failed. Weakness in AMD today, still holding above the 21-day moving average. And NVIDIA was down much more, but closed at the top of the range, down 1.1% on the day. Other standouts, Celsius. We don't own this, but making a new high after its big earnings move. And Square, which we got stopped out of a couple weeks ago, but breaking above. Just how tough the market is sometimes. You buy the gap up and you don't get it right away. It shakes out, doesn't look like it wants to go anywhere. And then 4 days in a row of strength coming into it with above average volume. So Square certainly righted itself. It's been on our watch list as a possible add back in, but we didn't take it. And that's going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. The email is don@revereasset.com. The phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That's 855-732-5932. If you're interested in becoming a client, you can reach out to my partner, Dan Stewart, dan@revereasset.com. What is Revere? What is GROTECTION? That's our flagship portfolio. Dual purpose, growth and protection, growing assets while the market is in an uptrend, as we have been successfully since that follow-through day in November. Protect them during a downtrend, such as the 2022 bear market, where we lost significantly less by following our sell rules. We manage individual accounts for investors, and we're a registered investment advisor, not a fund. We manage always taking new clients, so reach out if you're interested. And with that, I'm going to wrap it for Wednesday, March 13th. This is Don Vandenbord with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.